All right, here we go. Frogs have been living on this planet for more than how many million years?
250.
250 million years. They outlived the dinosaurs, right? Talked about
Also, the
that.
crocodiles, but no one cares about that.
No, that's not true. We already watched Super Croc.
Yeah.
Remember that? We care about them too.
Yep, that was like months ago. Yep.
That was more than 2 months ago.
That was more than 2 months ago.
I can't keep track of time well.
That wasn't like the
We know.
Mr. Ponko.
It was?
Mr. Ponko. Can you put your mask on, please?
Oh,
Thank you.
okay.
All right, 250 million years, and over the centuries evolved into some of the most wondrous and diverse creatures on Earth. You saw that, a lot of beautiful patterns. Some of them are poisonous or toxic. Really colorful skin, right? Really amazing the fact that they're able to breathe through their skin, right? And that also kind of is their downfall in this video because their skin is so sensitive to water, right? And anything that's in it, that's kind of causing some of their populations to suffer. So let's go. And this wasn't the first locale, but we went to the Central American country of Panama. Who knows where Panama is? Yeah. Let's see. Well, Central America, good answer. Yeah. Yeah, the isthmus. That's a great geography term. Okay, geography. Here we are, Panama, Google Maps. So it is the southernmost country of. Oh, I gotta zoom out. No, not rotisserie Panama. I want to go to actually Panama, the country. Let's go to the Panama Canal because everyone has probably heard of that at least. So here we are, Panama. Yes, this would be considered an isthmus, right? Now, don't quote me. An isthmus is like a thin land bridge. Denver, can you please properly wear your face covering? Thank you. All right. So this is an isthmus. The Panama Canal is, where is it? Right here? No, where is it?
I didn't think it have to be through this thing.
there. I see it somewhere.
I thought it was one of those.
Right there by Costa Rica. Now it's big enough.
Costa Rica.
That's Colombia. It's Costa Rica.
Where is the
That's
Panama Canal?
Colombia. No, it's not.
Costa Rica is on this side. Colombia is on this side. The Panama Canal should go through like a lake. So like
What?
I don't know if it does.
This ultimate said that it goes through like some sort of lake.
Does it?
Well, I thought it went
So-
actually.
Anyway, yeah, the Panama Canal is a man-made canal for like shipping. Otherwise, why? Why did they do that in Panama? Why did they make that?
Because it goes through, because you don't want to go around south of Africa.
There you go. Right, a little common sense. Okay, you don't want to ship something and have to go all the way around South America there.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Okay.
That area of land.
Panama Canal. Now, who heard in the news about that shipping container that was stuck in the Suez Canal, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
how that was a big to-do and causing lots of things to be delayed and
Wasn't it like
stuff like that.
Wasn't there like a lot of money that like got wasted?
Right, yeah.
Why is there a country named DRC?
Got it. That was a good joke. All right. Anyway, so we're in Panama. It's the southernmost country of Central America, excuse me, before you head into South America. There's Panama. All right. And we are in the tropical mountain forest. Tropical mountain cloud forest. So what is the problem, everybody? Somebody raise your hand and tell me, what's the problem here, Cole? Chytrid. Well, I would say that's the cause of the problem. What is that chytrid fungus doing, Cole? Right. Frogs are dying. If you don't have this down, you should write this down. If you have something similar to this, that's awesome. If you'd like to add to this, awesome. Frogs are dying. The cause of this is the chytrid fungus. Now, what were some characteristics of the chytrid fungus? Where does it thrive? Yeah.
It thrives in the water.
In the water. Very good. Sierra? on the skin of the frogs. What areas, like what climates does it thrive in? So you said water. Yeah, it needs water.
Colder climates.
Cooler, right? Higher elevation. So higher elevation, there's like, so they're in a cloud, what they call a cloud forest. They're in a higher elevation. The humidity and the temperature is kind of leaning itself to allow this chytrid fungus to thrive. All right. The cause of this is the chytrid. Oops, I should have said fungus. What species are being affected? Go ahead.
Horn.
The horned tree frog was one of them. Who had another one? Raise your hand. Jaden?
Yeah, we got the golden frog.
Golden frog. That one is like, I think they said only in Panama. The golden frog. Was there any other that you noticed? Go ahead.
I thought there was like a yellow leg one.
The mountain yellow-legged frog, I think, was also there, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that one was.
They did that one. They did not make that in Panama.
No, because that one was later in the
Okay. But
You're wrong.
But if you write basically all species there, all the species of frog are being affected in Panama. Okay, and then what does that do? What did they mention? Where is the frog located in that food chain? Reagan.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. So what does that do?
So if all the fish, if all the frogs died, then whatever eats the frogs would starve.
Right, they're going to suffer. They're going to have to find something else to eat. And whatever the frog eats, that's probably going to become more prevalent, right? And maybe we have too many of those. Uh-oh, right? So, what's the problem? The food chain or ecosystem, however you want to put it, is being
Destroyed.
well, I'll say just being thrown off. Okay. Also, she was walking through the stream and she commented on how blank it was.
Yeah, she said a year. You think a frog is gonna stay dead there for a year?
Maybe. I think.
What did she mention about when she was walking in the stream?
I
Yeah.
think that's what she meant.
Look at all the tadpoles were gone. The stream, there was a lot of algae and the water wasn't better.
Very good. It was slippery. There was green algae everywhere. Because what do tadpoles eat? We've briefly covered this. They eat plants. Algae would fall into that category. So, algae is prevalent in the streams. Okay. And that can affect, other life in there. So if you have any of these things down, that's great. Okay. Just make sure that when I'm talking to you, you're awake and writing this down. You're okay. All right. Then we went to the EVAC or EVACC, the Elvae Amphibian Conservation Center. Spit it out. So what's happening here? What are they trying to accomplish? Can you name the species that are being saved? So the question was kind of answered within the question. Caden, what's happening here at the Conservation Center?
They're keeping the frogs in captivity.
Sure, yeah. So they are isolating they're isolating frogs with the chytrid fungus, right? Away from others. And they're trying to keep them and trying to heal them, right? What's happening? Why are they trying to do this? Yeah. They are trying to save them
You'd be the one to kill a frog.
and prevent spread, right? Okay, what's actually happening to the frogs? What's happening to those frogs? Yeah. Sure, a lot of them aren't surviving. What about what's happening to when that guy? Never mind. Forget that. What are the species that are being saved? Yeah, Cole.
No kidding.
The golden frog. is being saved. And the horned tree frog. Anybody else? Just a frog, for Pete's sake, he says. I don't think he understood the movie.
Don't listen to her. He'd be that type of person to kill a frog. Not want to say.
Okay, they are trying to breed endangered species, right? They are attempting to breed endangered species. Okay, so then we went to the United States of America. We went to Yosemite National Park. That is, yes. Pretty cool place. You should check it out. What have scientists discovered here? Any similarities, Panama? What species of frog is being studied? So what have they discovered? Somebody besides Cole or Reagan? Ava, what did they discover here in Yosemite? Yeah. Okay. Frogs are disappearing. Why? Uh-oh.
I think it's gonna be Reagan this time.
I'm gonna have to call him back. All right.
I'm gonna have to call you back.
It was Mr. Mandela. Unless.
Oh, he's probably-
Okay. What was I? Why are they disappearing? Why are they disappearing? I know Reagan knows. I know Cole knows. Somebody else gotta tell me. Why are they disappearing? Katie. Nah, you already talked. Austin.
I thought it was kind of like a Klondike.
The what? What?
You're mixing ELA and science together.
That's all right.
The kite drone.
Oh, the chytrid. Okay. Yes, chytrid. Chytrid is one of the reasons. What else? What else, Alex? Not so much in Yosemite. Caden?
Non-native
The trout, right? Trout are eating them. And that dude was like, dudes, you can't just introduce all these trout and expect these frogs to survive. So chytrid, trout. All right, what species? That was the mountain yellow-legged frog. And these are the frogs that survived many winters. Couple winters as tadpoles. Pretty crazy, right? Yeah.
Wouldn't another reason be like, because they said something about the weather?
Yeah, the weather can affect them, definitely.
Climate change.
Climate change can affect them.
I can't affect them.
Any similarities to Panama? Yes.
You can.
Chytrid. That also happened in Panama. That's a theme throughout the whole thing. Very good, everybody. Let's move on. Next one. Oh, we went to, now we're on the East Coast in Connecticut. Right? East Coast. What's that? Connecticut. All right, now we're on the East Coast of the U.S. What's going on here? What species of frog is being affected? Go ahead, Liv.
So I could be wrong, but isn't the water like affected with the thingy-majigger and then it like changes their gender?
Yes, so male frogs are changing into females.
Interesting.
Okay. They're also growing what? Extra limbs. And not very helpful and doesn't make the frog very good. What species are being affected? Yeah.
Leopard frog.
Leopard frog?
Then do they call them aliens after?
No, they don't. They call them frogs.
Oh, I know.
Extraterrestrial.
All I got was
Go ahead.
frogs.
Red-legged.
Red-legged frogs, yes, sir. Yeah, bullfrogs. There you go. Those are 3 species being affected here. Okay, and you saw that scientist, he mentioned that those frogs had been in amplexus for going on 24 hours. The only issue was one of them was a male and the other was a male, but his sex allowed him to change to a female and lay eggs, and he had 3 clutches. Darnell, the frog. Okay. What complex problems are the frogs facing so close to people's backyards? How are they responding to those threats? So what are people doing in the backyards, or what's going on, Will?
Oh, they're flushing the bills.
Flushing pills, flushing medication.
Isn't that what you're supposed
One of them was, no, you should not.
Well, how would you dispose of medicine?
If you dispose of medicine that you don't need anymore, I believe you're supposed to like ask your pharmacist what you're supposed to do, or your doctor. You may have to turn it into like the police station, some of it. But I don't know many people that do. Flushing medication, birth control was one of them, and that was what was affecting these frogs. Also, what else? Not just medication, yeah.
Weren't the cars running them over?
Yeah, was that in Connecticut? I can't remember. No, that was somewhere else. But yeah, that's another one where
But they're still broken.
flushing medication. How about pesticides? Yes.
Yeah.
Or fertilizer? And how are the frogs responding? Not well. Right? They're growing limbs, like the limbs thing, the changing their sex.
Does
Okay.
the frog go 3 foot down instead of 6?
I don't know what you're saying, man.
What if you need an extra limb? Like you lost your
I don't get the
limb or
joke.
something, and you
Yeah,
have to
people
go
are
back.
using
Yeah,
this called them diets, so I have
simple as
very
that. Why can't I have an extra
I don't understand what you're saying.
You'd be like Goro.
It's okay. We never do.
Have like an arm or something.
You're like laughing at all your own jokes. That's fine. I just don't get it.
You'd be like
I
Goro, basically.
He was
Yeah, you did. You were like giggling the whole time. All right, whatever, dude. Anyway,
I'm not all the
Whatever.
arms.
all right. So now we're in Australia, mate. What's going on there? What's going on, Maddie? Chytrid. That's a common theme. Oops. Right? Climate change. The creek dried up, right? Creek. Oh no. That guy was talking about you could have hundreds of them in a square meter, and now he rarely finds them. Yada, yada, yada. They have a lot of endangered frogs. Austin?
Oh yeah, and the whole ground in Australia was super weird. It had like cuts in it. It was all like dry.
Yeah, dry. Right? That's that climate change.
Yep.
All right, so summary. What's the whole point of this whole thing? Why is it important that we try to save these froggies?
Don't flush medication from the toilet.
For sure. Liv, what do you think?
So that doesn't affect more of the food chain or the life chain.
Doesn't affect food chain
So the
and or the ecosystem,
so the population.
right? Population. We'd like a healthy population of frogs as opposed to no frogs. We need we literally just watched a whole video on what they do, dude.
Yeah,
You
once they
know,
say
like-
they use frogs for like medical.
yes, that was another one. Thank you, Reagan. What do we do? What do we use frogs for?
Catfish bait.
No,
Catfish bait, sure. What else?
didn't they say they used it for like trying to test out new medication?
Right. Frogs are important.
So the test subjects.
No,
So they just feed them with birth control pills.
for medical research. There was one that the frog, the substance from the frog was numb pain for humans, and it was not addictive like morphine. Anyone ever have been on a morphine drip before?
Probably.
Yeah.
What's that?
So like if you went into surgery and you had morphine,
Never heard.
morphine is a
It's
drug that
something
is
that-
like a pain killing drug, very powerful, and also if abused, it becomes very addictive. And if you become addicted to morphine, that's not good.
You're screwed.
You are, yeah, it's a very strong drug that has, it does its job, but can have adverse effects on you.
Then you'll close
Okay.
the next one.
So I would say this could also go here. What do they offer to us? Like, why should you care? If you're like Jaden, well, why should I care?
I don't.
Here's why.
Is he calling you?
Yeah. All right. So what I need you to do is put those up on that stool up there, and I will give you something shortly. Yellow. Hey. I do. Like define bit. What do you need them for? Yeah, you can talk to him. I'll send. Yes, sir. Yep. Bye bye. Hey, Alex. Go see Mr. Mondello, please. All right. So we're like right on time, everybody. Awesome. So we got time to study the reproductive organs. Yay!
No.
If we get-
Yeah, please.
So what now?
15 minutes of nothing, 'cause we were.
15 minutes of nothing?
Yeah.
No,
You need it.
don't
Oh,
waste
it's so
your-
great.
Don't waste your
Can I
malleable
drop my pineapple on your
brains.
What?
Brother, you've been half asleep for the whole hour, so you don't get to, like, you don't
Can I
get
put
to
my pineapple on?
at the end of the hour.
Okay.
If you don't get no break, you've been asleep to half the hour, bro.
Mr. Bean, can we play a game again?
What? Okay, so everyone have one? No, these guys still need it? Got it? Everybody have one now? Thank you.
So, now we have one extra.
All right, so put your name at the top. Put the period, that would be 2. Put the date. Today is 4/23/2021. Thank you, my friend. Okay, we are studying the organ systems of frogs because they are similar to ours and pretty complex in comparison to some of the organs or some of the animals that we've talked about already. So, oh, and I probably already have mine somewhere. Did y'all put it? Okay. All right. So, letter A. You see that letter A, that box there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, letter A. That is going to be the male reproductive system. So, on the line for letter A, right? Male reproductive system. If you need to go below, you can. Where is the one that I drew?
I'm so reproductive.
If I do. MALE space REPRO.
Whoa.
D.
That was way too fast.
I will get it up on the board somewhere. Somehow. Against all odds.
We totally can.
What up?
So we studied picture paper, so we can all do this. Oh, yeah.
Curses.
You're very
It
welcome.
has like 60 copies.
Dude.
Does it take you 4 hours if the copy machine too?
No.
That's
Yeah, that's what Mrs. Alterman says.
For me.
No, she says that it takes her 4 hours to make a copy. And then she's like, if you lose it, you can spend 4 hours in the copy room.
You gotta get another 60
Did you put it on top of mine? Stuff? I'm gonna be-
What?
What did we do?
I don't know. What did you do?
Pull it out.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Is it on the desk? Is it on the desk right there?
Probably.
They
not.
got shut. Well, don't give them hints.
Keegan. What? Right, look at my hair.
You will just have to draw it from my description.
Description.
I don't know why I just thought that. No, we want to see the nose. I already saw it.
Yeah, Friday, exactly.
And
We should be here.
I could draw it from memory, but I'd rather have
Hey,
mine.
you did it twice.
I know you might see it.
You got a new hat.
She got a hat.
Yeah.
This is disturbing. This is angering me.
Did you use this to school? Yeah. What did we travel
Hello. Oh, here it is. I'm a
Did you find it?
I did. It was right in my pile of stuff where I keep everything. Duh. Okay, here we go. So, A is the male reproductive system. B is the female reproductive system. Okay, now before you go crazy drawing all these things,
I wanna.
you can kind of draw and follow along as I speak. Okay, so you have to imagine that we're looking at a frog and it is belly up, its ventral side up. This is towards the middle portion of its body. Okay, towards the middle portion of its body. So down below would be the legs, up above would be its forelimbs. Okay, and its head would be up towards where the A is. All right, everybody picturing this in their heads? No. Okay, so if I were to lay a frog over this, oh, so here's a picture of the skeletal system. Imagine that it looks like this. Okay. All right, and this would be in the middle of the body. We are only looking at the reproductive system right here. So the male reproductive system. Males, their gonads are testes. So those are the bean-shaped, darker structures there.
They look like radishes.
The testes create what?
Sperm.
Sperm, very good. Okay, testes create sperm.
You're smart.
Up above the testes, attached to the testes, are fat bodies. Okay, not like a fat body, but like bodies of fat. What is the fat used for?
Don't know.
Okay, that's okay. Fat is used as an energy source. Okay, it's a stored energy source. So fat on your body, on other animals' body, can be used as an energy source. All right, so when people lose fat, when they are losing weight, okay, that fat is being used as energy for them to do things, right? As opposed to burning other energy sources such as carbohydrates and sugar.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
Sorry.
What's up, dude?
So I thought like fat, like your body eats it when you're starving.
No.
So like your fat on your body is stored energy. If you don't eat, right, your body has to use something for energy, right?
So eat your own body.
Yeah. Simple.
It's not really eating into your own body. It's using that fat,
You're
stored
gonna
fat,
split it to
as
nothing.
energy for you to live life, right? You can go a certain number of days, depending on how much you have, without eating, right? Of course, it'd be very weak, right? The body's preferred way of using energy is carbohydrates. Okay, so we have the fat
Wait.
bodies.
So a person who is like, never mind. I'm not gonna.
So, like, for example, there's the show Alone. Anyone ever seen that show?
But just like
Yes, Alone, where they go out in the wild and they just live on their own.
that's
Or like in like the Alaskan wild. And
Yeah.
one of the guys that went on there, they asked him, what did he do to prepare? He's like, well, I tried to put on a whole bunch of weight. Why? So he had some fat reserves for him because he was not going to be eating all that much, right?
Yeah.
Everybody understand? So that allowed him to provide some energy. Now, it's not like the best way to go about things to go out in the wild and starve.
You can though.
I mean,
You can.
some people can. They're prepared to do it. Anyway, so the fat bodies, they're used for hibernation when the frog hibernates, right? Like a bear, when it hibernates, it puts on a ton of weight, right? And then in the winter, after it comes out in the spring, it's lost a bunch of that weight just from using that fat as energy, okay? The fat bodies are used in hibernation for the frogs. They're used in mating for the frog. It uses that as energy when it needs to mate, okay? And in metamorphosis, when it is a tadpole, it needs to use energy in order to become a frog, okay? The testes produce the sperm. Then you have these tubes called seminal vesicles. They carry and hold the sperm until it needs to be used. That sperm travels downward towards the cloaca. The cloaca is the body part of the frog, which sperm is released, which urine is released, and which fecal matter is released. What is fecal matter? Poop. All right, so frogs poop, pee, and distribute sperm all out of the same orifice. This is called the cloaca. Okay? You have this?
Wrong.
Okay, so let's close this. We're not gonna do this again. That's like, come on.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Come on. I would rather not do this. Okay? It's got to be drawn and labeled. All right. So then we move over to the female reproductive system, and I'll keep both of these up there. Females are different from males. Like I mentioned yesterday, typically a female and male look different. They're differently colored. This is not true in all cases. All right. And there are frogs where the male will have to croak or give a warning signal and say, hey, I'm a male, get off of me. All right. Female, this is what her reproductive system looks like. Somewhat similar. You have the fat bodies up towards the top. They're finger-like, they're spaghetti-like, however you want to draw them. They're orangish or tannish in color. Okay. Attached to the fat bodies are not testes, but ovaries. And the ovaries can be referred to as egg sacs, because the ovaries is where the eggs are housed. Okay. When the frogs are about to breed or spawn, there will be lots and lots of eggs, and they can take up a good portion. Let's draw this. Okay, you can play babysitter and teacher at the same time. Okay, so there can be, babysitter. Make sure you do your stuff. Okay, fat bodies attached to ovaries in the female. Those tubes on the right and the left, okay, they're much more squiggly, not nearly as direct a line to the cloaca, but those are the oviducts or oviducts. And what those serve as is a place for the eggs to travel down, and you should see a familiar organ down there at the bottom. And what is that? The cloaca. What comes out of the cloaca for the female is the unfertilized egg, Austin. Yeah, the unfertilized egg. Okay, and also urine and fecal matter. But we haven't drawn the excretory system here. Yep. So now you got to label them. Attaboy. Label them. Okay. And then on Monday we'll get into the skeletal system. All right. Oh, nice. You got that.
That's from Mr. Walker.
Oh.
He's a paper boy now.
That's awesome. Okay. So the oviducts carry the eggs from the ovaries. The ovaries distribute the egg to the oviduct. The oviducts take them down to the cloaca, where they are excreted, or however you want to put it. Okay, and then during the amplexus, they are fertilized from the sperm from the male. The male is on top of the female. Typically, the male frogs are smaller than the female frogs. Typically, because they have to get on the back of the. But the fat bodies are there for that mating process. Okay. What else am I missing? I don't know.
I feel like we're good.
I feel like we're good too.
I'm not gonna lie, those little things like eyes things or whatever look a lot like carrots.
The cloaca? Oh no, those are the ovaries, yeah. Okay, so I want your name on these, and I want you to pass them forward when you're done.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
No, I'm not. Give them to me. Oh, okay, thank you.
I lost my pen now. I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh no, I didn't. Right here.
Yeah.
Make sure your name is on it.
Really? Yeah. So then you get years beyond.
Okay, so I want to sincerely thank you for bearing with me for 2 hours for the last 2 days. I think it's gone pretty well. You guys have managed, and we got a lot accomplished. Okay, so thank you for that. Still got a little bit. I can't let you go this early. I'll get you a Jolly Rancher on your way out. Next week, we are doing the same thing, aren't we?
No, I think next week we do the first hour.
They
first
haven't
hour
really
for Monday,
explained it to
Tuesday,
us.
and then
Right, so like Thursday, Friday, you'll be in here for 2 hours,
Oh, I think
right?
Monday.
Yeah, I think
So on Thursday, Friday, so Monday and Tuesday, I won't have you, and Thursday, Friday, you'll be in here for 2 hours.
So it's the same thing as what happened this week.
I believe so. Okay, but I hope I hope that you guys are taking the forward exam seriously. It's the first time you've taken it in 2 years. So keep working hard on that. And yeah, that's awesome. Still can't let you go. Does everybody have their packet right here? I don't want you, because it's gonna be a lot of work. I don't want you to take it home and forget it. Huh?
I became first one that's like I can't hear it.
He's coming. It's all right, now you can head out.
It's like an off-brand.
Looks like some berries.
No, there's like an off-brand version of Morty.
Make sure you're all-
You're definitely gonna be taller.
Oh, you're not really-
Well,
No, not really. Okay. I haven't really told you. You're not supposed to. You can trade with somebody. Have a good weekend. All right. You don't want one? Oh, no.